What's going on? So I'm seeing a whole bunch of videos flying around with Don Lemon. And then Don Lemon did a press conference. And of course, he's the victim now. All of a sudden, he's the victim. You can't make it up. There's videos of Don Lemon organizing the attack on the church. And what's happening is that the liberal media right now, they're all saying that all he was doing was journalism. No, he was attacking the church. He was 100% attacking the church. And Don Lemon constantly says that he's a Christian. He's a Christian. Now, I'll say this much. We're all sinners. We all fall short of the glory. But the thing is, we are to repent and not to continue to do the sinful acts that we do. Not to do them anymore. Repent and don't do them anymore. Don Lemon, and of course the liberal media, and a whole bunch of people on the left, if not all of them, they're saying that Don Lemon's sinful lifestyle is okay, it's good. And the Bible is completely clear about his sinful lifestyle. Completely clear about his sinful lifestyle. And what we're seeing taking place right now is that you have the liberal media, politicians, they're all saying that Don Lemon getting arrested is because he's black, he lives an alternate lifestyle, and he's a journalist. This is the reason why they're saying that President Trump had him arrested. President Trump has nothing to do with this. President Trump has nothing to do with Don Lemon getting arrested. Don Lemon got arrested on his own. Don Lemon went into a church, and even in one of the videos, one of the pastors in the church was asking Don Lemon to leave. I need for you and the people to leave. Don Lemon refused to leave. He said, look, I'm just here asking questions. I'm here asking questions. He also said in one of the videos that he was there because people don't have a voice, and this is how they express their voice. You don't do this. This you don't do. Someone ended up getting hurt in the church. Don Lemon, claiming to be a journalist when he's a straight up activist, 100% activist. Anytime that I go out and I'm interviewing people, just talking to people on the microphone, off the microphone, recording it, they say, you're not a journalist. You're not a journalist. You're being an activist. Sometimes I am being an activist. Sometimes I'm being a journalist. I'll admit to it. But that's how it works. See, they want us to believe that Don Lemon, he can go in and break these laws. He can go in and do whatever it is that he wants to do. And he just claims that he's a journalist and it's fine. Well, if that's the case, then I can be able to go into any mall, any grocery store, any movie theater, any federal building, and I can disrupt. I can be loud. I can do whatever it is I want. I can stop people. When people ask me to leave, I can say no, because I'm there just doing journalism. That's why I'm there. And you can't say otherwise. Wow, Buzzy81, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, for some reason, I'm able to see Buzzy81 send me a super chat, but I'm not seeing any other chats. If anyone is on here other than Buzzy81, thank you so much. Please let me know in the chat. Also, share the video. Share this video, please. Please share the video. And thanks again for the super chat. So I'm still stuck in Minneapolis. I'm still stuck here. My flight got canceled, so I don't fly out until tomorrow. But I'm still stuck here. So I figure I will go ahead and do a quick live and talk about what I've been seeing all over social media. Thank you so much, Care Bear. Thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you so much for letting me know. If you're on Facebook, please comment and share the video. So listen to this, because this is so bizarre to me. What I am seeing, and you can tell me if you see the same thing. What I am seeing is a deliberate attack on Christianity. For years, I've constantly said this for years, that there's a deliberate attack on Christianity, but they don't come directly and say that they're attacking Christianity. They don't directly say it. You know why they don't say it? Because there's still a lot of people in the Democrat Party that call themselves Christians, that actually believe in God, but they don't know any better, so they actually support the Democrat Party. But if the Democrat Party came out and said that, okay, we're going to go after Christians because Christians are actually the problem, we're going to do this because of Christians, a lot of people would leave the Democrat Party. What they do, on the other hand, they say that the problem in the country are white people. Majority of the people in the United States of America that are white happen to be what? Y'all want to help me out here? Happen to be what? Majority of the white people in the United States of America, what religion are they? Christian. So and this is look, this is just my opinion here for transparency. You can take it for what it is. If you don't believe me, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to be mad at you. But my observation of what's taking place, what I'm seeing, is that they're deliberately attacking Christianity, but they go under the covers of saying that it's white people. Like white people are the problem. Majority of the people in this country are white, and they're trying to change that because they figure that if they can change the demographics, or they can change the number of people, the population, if they can eliminate, then they can change what the religion is. And that's the ultimate goal here. Don Lemon and the rest of them, they attacked that church. Did you not see the video? And it's just like everything else that we've been seeing here lately. Just like everything else. We see what happened with Alex Purdy. They said, oh, look what happened. And then the media, the line media, they go on telly. They're telling everybody what to believe. That's not what you actually saw. This is what you saw. You understand what I'm telling you? Don't believe what you're seeing here. This is what you saw. When we all saw what happened. Same thing with Renee Good. The Border Patrol, or in this case, the ICE agent told her to get out the vehicle. She refused to get out the vehicle. She smashed the gas. None of the left sees that. They don't see that part. Then they just said, well, she was turning the wheel. She should have got out the vehicle. I don't care if she was turning the wheel to the left, or if she was turning to the right, or if she was going straight ahead. When she hit the ICE agent, it was a done deal. She should have just got out the vehicle. She shouldn't have been following them in the first place. She shouldn't have been disrupting them in the first place. Same thing with Alex Purdy. He shouldn't have never been smashing, spitting on the vehicle, kicking the vehicle. He shouldn't have been doing any of that. Shouldn't have been getting into physical confrontation with none of them. But nonetheless, he still did it. Y'all understand what I'm telling you here? So now they went to this church because they got wind, and I'm still kind of interested. I'm still curious. Have y'all seen the information on this yet? So the reason why they say they went to the church in the first place is because they found out that the pastor, one of the pastors, was a part of ICE. Who cares? The pastor could be part of the school board. Who cares? The pastor could be part of the PTA team. Who cares? You do not go into a church and terrorize people. You don't do that. Now, if they went in there and they started being disruptive and they said, okay, you got to go, then guess what? You leave. Because there's been people going to plenty of churches. Like, let me give you an example. There was what's his name? Joel Osteen. I don't watch Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen is pretty much like a motivational speaker, and he talks about God, a motivational speaker. I'm not knocking him or anything, but my point is that I saw a video where some leftist liberals went into his church and they were screaming at him. You know what happened? They said, you got to go. They were screaming on the way out the door. I've seen Christians, true Christians, go into these churches where they're pushing all this insanity onto our kids. And guess what happens? They go in there and they scream. They say, you got to go, you got to go. And guess what happens? They leave. And while they're on their way out the door, they're screaming, of course, but they're on their way out the door. What Don Lemon did and these activists, they didn't leave. They stayed in there. They became very combative. The people in there were terrified what was going on. One lady, to my understanding, the report was that she broke her arm. That right there, nail in the coffin. Don Lemon trying to act like he's a journalist, and he went in there. I'm just sitting there asking questions. How did he know that was going down again? Y'all help me out. How did Don Sourpuss Lemon know that was going down? How did he know it was going down? Oh, because of the video. Remember, he was standing out in the park and I said, we're getting ready to go someplace to an undisclosed location. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? And that's exactly what they did. They went to the church, disrupting. As soon as Don Lemon went in there, because he was with those people, he was with them before he went into church. He can't say that he wasn't with them. To my understanding from the video with Don Lemon, when they were out in the parking lot, not the parking lot of the church, the parking lot where they were assembling, where they were conspiring, when they were in that parking lot, from the video, Don Lemon was contacted by one of them. Don Sourpuss Lemon was contacted by one of them. So he showed up with them and went there with them. He went there with them. He was at point A and he went to point B with them, with the activists. Don Lemon got himself in this trouble. Don Lemon did this to himself. And now they're all kicking and screaming, saying, oh my goodness, this is just like Venezuela. President Trump is arresting journalists for just being journalists. Are you kidding me? At what point did President Trump convince Don Lemon to go in and terrorize a church? At what point did he do that? Don Lemon wouldn't be in this position right now had he not gone in and terrorized the church. But if you listen to the liberal media, and y'all should listen to it. If you listen to the liberal media, right now, all of those in the liberal media, they're trying to give it a pass for Don Lemon attacking the church. Don Lemon is not a Christian of the Bible. He's not. He is 100% not a Christian of the Bible. These evil, demonic democrats, they are not Christians. They are filled with demonic spirits. 100%. And, I know there's some pastors and preachers, very few though, will actually talk about the evilness that we're seeing in the world. I've actually had a pastor said, Will, you are talking about the stuff that's relevant to our lives right now today, that's actually happening today, where a lot of pastors should be. I'm not a pastor. I don't claim to be a pastor. I don't claim to be one. I'm not even trying to be a pastor. But this evilness that we're seeing in this world is not being addressed by the churches. If they allow Don Lemon and these other activist terrorists to get away with what they did going into this church, it's going to happen to more churches. And I believe that if the Democrats get their way, they're going to eliminate the Constitution. And then you think that we have freedom of religion right now? The Democrats will do away with it so fast, you'll wonder, did we ever have it? This is how the demonic Democrats are. They've been wanting to get rid of Christianity for the longest. I will never forget it. I'm sitting there watching the 2016 election. And this was when President Trump was straight up rising star. President Trump is a straight up rising star in 2016 when it's all going down, right? And I see Hillary Clinton come out and she's doing a little press conference type thing. And Hillary Clinton said that, and I'll never forget it, I'm kind of kicking myself because I didn't record this video. At the time, I really wasn't into doing all of that. And so I didn't know, I didn't know that, man, this would be a perfect video to record. Then on top of that, think about this. How did they get his name? I'm wondering, is the FBI, is it, the ones that's, the jury, I guess they got it, the indictments and stuff. Are they going to ask him, how did you get the name? Where did the name come from for you to go after this pastor? What made you go after this pastor? Because you said he's a part of ICE. And if he is actually a part of ICE, how did you get that information? That needs to come to the surface too. How did you get that information? Right? I want to know how they got that information to go after him. And see, it got me to believing that they got that information from when they broke into the federal vehicles. It was maybe a week before that. I think it was maybe a week and a half, right before Don Lemon and the other active terrorists went into the church. They broke into federal agents' vehicles and they found documentation with FBI names and ICE agent names, and they were doxing them. To my understanding, that's how they got the name. But I'm wondering if they're going to ask that question. How did you get the names? So I guess we're all going to find out eventually, right? Because that's one question that I want to ask. How did they get their pastor's name? Because they didn't really think really good of it. You know that? I mean, I really want to know. That's a question that I want to know. And what were you thinking? They weren't thinking. They're just being activists. Don Lemon, all of them. He put himself in this position. He did this to himself. You can't blame President Trump. President Trump had nothing to do with it. President Trump, and let me say this too. If President Trump is just arresting journalists simply because they're black, then President Trump should be arresting me, right? If President Trump is just simply arresting people because they're black, then President Trump should be arresting Van Jones simply because he's black, calling himself a journalist. If President Trump is just arresting people for those reasons, then how come Van Jones hasn't been arrested? How come I haven't been arrested? If that's the case. I mean, there's countless of black people that's in journalism that President Trump could just go round up simply because they're black and they're being journalists, if that's the case. But that's not the case. They keep leaving out the whole point that Don Sourpuss Lemon took it upon himself to go into a church and terrorize the people in the church. Yes, ICE is doing a very, very good, pretty job. ICE is doing a pretty good job. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. 100%. 100%. So for those of you that don't know, I'm in Minneapolis right now. I've been here for a couple of days now, and I'm getting ready to go back and fly out tomorrow. But here supporting ICE, and I don't know if y'all seen some of the videos. I went live here on Facebook and YouTube last night talking about some of it. But the left, they're violent. They're 100% violent. Everywhere we went, and when these leftist lunatics realized that I'm a Trump supporter, that I love my country, that I support ICE, and I say ICE are the good guys because they are, every single time they wanted to be violent. This is the same people that say that they are the ones that's peaceful. And you know what it is? I figured out what it is. These leftists, when they say, even in the mainstream media, they say that MAGA, they're the ones that's violent, knowing good and well that MAGA is not violent. But you know where the violence comes from when they say that? Here's a great example. I can tell you 2 + 2 = 4. I can tell you the truth, constantly tell you the truth. And these demonic demons hear it. And because they hear the truth coming from someone like me or anybody else, even from President Trump, their dark hearts, they feel angry and they feel like lashing out. So that's where the violence comes from. This, oh, you MAGA Republicans, you're the violent ones because you're making me feel violent. You're making me feel violent. So the violence is your fault. This is a spiritual battle that we're in. I mean, it really is. The spiritual battle is real. I mean, it's 100% real. It's 100% real. The spiritual battle is real. And these evil, demonic, and I've said this for years too, that demons will protect demons. Demons will protect demons. This is the very reason why these demonic democrats are defending Don Lemon for what he has done. They're defending Don Lemon for what he has done. He should have never done it. Should have never done it. Don Lemon is not a Christian of the Bible. He's not a Christian of the Holy Bible. The Holy Bible tells us about his sinful lifestyle. It's an abomination. It is an abomination. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing pleasant about it. It doesn't even produce anything. It doesn't produce anything. Nothing. Nothing is produced from it. Nothing. Can't produce anything from it. Nothing. It's pure evilness. I believe what the Bible says. The Bible is clear. I believe every word the Bible says. And talking about the sinful nature and sinful acts, like I said before, we're all fall short of the glory. We all do. But I don't go out and try to have a parade trying to get y'all to celebrate my sinful acts. You don't see that. That don't make any sense. But you have these leftists, I'm like, oh yeah, you got to come out and you got to join his parade. You got to join his parade. No. It is an abomination. It is sinful to the fullest. To the fullest. Yeah, I don't. Dwayne Johnson. I wonder if that's my cousin. I have a cousin named Dwayne Johnson. What's Dwayne Johnson saying? You know, this is something I've been learning too. I've seen people in here in the feed and stuff. You know, they're not happy with what I'm saying because everything I'm saying is the truth. And if I'm having my opinion about something, I tell you my opinion. It's my opinion, but you know what I'm saying is the truth, right? Right. So, you know, one thing I've been telling them, I don't know if y'all seen it. Like, this Dwayne. Dwayne supports ICE. He's just playing devil's advocate. That's what that is. He supports ICE, and he's a huge Trump supporter. Don't let him trick y'all. I think he's just trying to pull some strings right now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's a Trump supporter. He's just trying to pull y'all chain. Don't let him trick y'all. He's huge into Trump. I mean, huge, I tell you. On Facebook. He's huge Trump supporter. I think he just, like I said, he's trying to pull y'all chain. But anyway, you know, a lot of times when they send me those colorful messages and stuff, I say, you know what, I'm not a doctor. I'll never claim to be a doctor. But you can tell me where it hurts. Where does it hurt? Where does it hurt? No one should lose their... Well, I agree. No one should lose it. But the thing is, when you play stupid games, you can win stupid prizes. You know, there's consequences. When you do something you shouldn't do, there's consequences that you will, you know, fall into that. I mean, really, there's consequences. So, it's just the way it works. It's not something that I made up. You know, it's just a reality. You do one thing, there's opposite and equal reaction. You know, I mean, that's just the way things work. That's just the way things work. So, But oh, let me tell y'all this. Did y'all see the video that I put out there? I went to George Floyd Plaza, or what they call it, George Floyd Square, whatever. It is so trashy. It looks so demonic. If y'all watching right now, it's on I put it on YouTube here, and I put it on Facebook. You just click up the top here. Just click up there. Click on my picture and go to my page or my channel. At least for Facebook, you can go here. On YouTube, I think you just have to click my picture down there, and you can go to it and you can see what I put out there while I was at George Floyd. It's so demonic. It's so trashy. It's just pure evil. It's unbelievable. But these people have been turned over to a reprobate mind. They really have. They've been turned over to a reprobate mind. And the level of evilness that's been pushed from with the left is just unbelievable. I mean, lack of words. It's unbelievable. Pure evilness. And the sad thing is that we all have family members that are part of the Democrat Party. I mean, we really do. Like it's like, like my brother Dwayne there, my cousin Dwayne, not my brother, but my cousin Dwayne. I mean, look, he's a Trump supporter. I'm telling y'all right now, he's just playing devil's advocate. That's all he's doing. Y'all don't pay him no mind. Don't pay him no mind. He's a straight up Trump supporter. He's just playing devil's advocate. Every now and then they do that. I've actually, I haven't gone as far as saying the nasty stuff that he's saying, but I mean, I'll play devil's advocate a little bit sometimes just to get, push people's buttons, because it's okay for us to disagree about things. But one thing that I've noticed is that the radical left, they have a hard time comprehending reality. And the radical left have a hard time understanding the difference between right and wrong. They just want the lawlessness. Let me give you an example. So yesterday, I was downtown Minneapolis, and I'm just down there, and there's like probably 20,000 people. It was 7 degrees. And probably when the wind was blowing, it felt like it was probably -3 degrees. It was just really cold, right? Brutal. So I'm walking out there, and man, these signs, what these people are saying, just completely evil, completely demonic. And they're all supporting lawlessness. They're all supporting lawlessness. None of them want the laws to be upheld. And you know who else supports lawlessness? Satan. Satan supports lawlessness because he is the lawlessness one. And the Democrat Party supports all of this lawlessness that we've been seeing. The Democrat Party, personally, the Democrat Party is the party of Satan. 100%. 100%, the party of Satan. You can't even make it up. I mean, just look at all the demonic things that they do, and then they try to say it's good. What was once considered good is now considered evil. And what was once considered evil is now considered good, according to the Democrat Party. All of this wicked stuff that they're doing, they're calling it good. Imagine that. How does that work? But anyways, I just want to come on here and talk about and give y'all my opinion about Don Lemon. And Don Lemon, because of what he has done, he should have to suffer the consequences. Remember, they all kept screaming, no one's above the law. You remember that? No one's above the law. Even Don Sourpuss Lemon was saying it himself. No one's above the law. No one's above the law. Don Lemon should just take responsibility, but he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. Don Lemon is not going to take responsibility at all for his actions. I mean, most demons don't. Demons don't take responsibility for the wrong things they do because they think in their mind that it's okay. So they're not going to take any responsibilities for it. So Don Lemon should have to suffer the consequences for him going in there and attacking the church along with the rest of the people doing it. If they don't, that means that we're not a country of laws. Then the lawlessness one is winning. The Democrats get their way. Don Lemon should be made example of. Nah, not Richard. I don't know what Richard is. Richard is just hey there. Richard is actually Richard. He's talking about something that he actually supports, but he knows that us as MAGA Christians, we don't support that lifestyle. So he's projecting because he knows that we don't. So they're projecting because, the Democrats, they support that lifestyle. Have you heard of MAPS? Have y'all heard of that? Minor attracted persons. The Democrats don't have any problems with that. The United Nations is pushing that crap. The Democrats are trying to push child pornography into school libraries. Richard didn't have a problem with that. Richard didn't have a problem with them doing, trying to castrate little kids. Richard don't have any problems with that. I mean, they don't. These people don't have any problems with that lifestyle. Minor attracted persons. Have y'all heard of that crap? They were all about it. They were all supporting it. The only reason why they're trying to act like they're against it is because they know that we don't support it. And they're trying to associate it with President Trump. That's all that this is all about. That's all that it is. They think that, oh my goodness, look, you support President Trump because he's this, he's that. Knowing good and well, none of it's true. But at the same time, if it was true, they would love him even more. They would love him if he was that way. Think about that. If President Trump was actually that way because of the Epstein files, they would love him. Oh my goodness. Another prime example, you remember the Hollywood tape with President Trump? When President Trump said he would grab it? The Democrats had no problem with President Trump saying that. But then when he was running for office, the Democrats was, oh, look what President Trump said. He would grab it. Y'all remember? The only reason why the Democrats said it, just like the Epstein files, is because they know us as Christians, we don't support that. We don't support just going around grabbing it. We don't support that, right? Christian men don't support that. That's the only reason why the Democrats were saying it, because they're okay with it. Especially if President Trump said that he was grabbing another man. See, if President Trump was grabbing another man, they was like, oh my goodness, he's so wonderful. He's so wonderful. He's so brave. He's so loving. Because if President Trump was grabbing another man, then we wouldn't be supporting him because we don't go along with that sinful lifestyle. But the Democrats do. All of the Democrats, again, they didn't have any problem with that lifestyle. They had no issues with it, no qualms. They actually promoted it. They were actually okay with it. They were actually embracing it. They were happy about it. But they're trying to say it with President Trump because they know we don't support it. That's all it is. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You can't. It's 100% true. And that's how, that's how these Democrats are. It's how the Democrats are. Yeah, and Jesus said, if you harm one child, you should have a millstone hung, around your neck into the deep of the sea. Yep. Jesus did not play with people who harm kids. 100%. 100%. 100%. But the Democrats didn't have any problems with it because think about it. When Joe Biden was in office, how many kids end up missing? What was reported? Over 400,000 children missing. 400,000. None of these Democrats had a problem with that. No problems with it at all. But all of a sudden, they act like they care about the kids. Oh my, the kids. And then talk about Planned Parenthood. Think about what I'm telling you. Planned Parenthood took the lives of how many children over the years? How many over the years? The Democrats have no problem with that. It's evil. We are in a spiritual battle, everybody. 100% a spiritual battle. 100%. It's just so amazing to see it in our world today. And these evil demonic Democrats, they don't see nothing wrong with it at all. I saw this video where they were trying to say that, women eliminating the unborn child is loving. Is the most wonderful thing they could ever do. It is pure evil. And the Democrat Party is all about it. They're in front center with all of it. Front and center with all of it. Front and center with all of it. So Don Lemon is playing victim, of course. Playing victim. Like, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been a journalist for 30 years, and that's why they put me in. That ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't got nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with his sinful lifestyle either. Nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with it. It's all about what he did in the church. Him and the other ones attacking the church. That's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with him pretending to be a journalist. It has nothing to do with his sinful lifestyle. That has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. But of course, they got to put it in there. Oh my goodness, it's because he's black. Oh my goodness. Because he's black. I mean, you really can't make it up. You really can't make it up. Yeah, that's what they're doing, brainwashing, playing victim. 100%. 100%. And what's really amazing about all this to me is the fact that they don't see it. The people sitting there looking at it and they don't see it. Like, for example, TMZ. I never watched TMZ. I don't even know if TMZ actually has like a show, or did TMZ just do little video things and put them out there, or they follow people around and get information, or people send them clips, of Hollywood actors and, stuff like that. But TMZ, they are like really angry that Don Lemon was arrested. I mean, they're really angry about it. Really angry. This is the same TMZ that was so-called, they said they weren't. They said, we didn't do that, we didn't know, but they were celebrating Charlie Kirk, what happened to him. But they said they weren't. They just so happened to be laughing when that story came across the line, but they say they weren't celebrating, even though they were celebrating as soon as they came across the line. I don't think anyone believes them. Same demonic people. Same demonic people. Y'all seen it? You seen it, Patricia? I mean, and then look, God will use who he wants to use, right? And right now, I think that he has like Nicki Minaj on this thing right now, and I hope she. I would really have a lot of respect for her if she just changed doing the raunchy videos and stuff like that. And I would even probably listen to some of her songs if she would change it. But who am I to say that who God can change? That's entirely up to who God wants to use. But she's been really speaking out, and how Don Lemon and her going back and forth, and Don Lemon's upset with her. because of what she said. And Don Lemon, I mean, it's pretty raunchy still. She's still a raunchy person, you know. I'm not saying that she's going to change overnight, but look, the thing is, TMZ, from the videos that I've seen, they are getting angrier and angrier with her. TMZ is like, at one point I thought TMZ just reported on, you know, whoever's in, you know, the media, Hollywood, Nuttywood, whatever it is. I thought they would just say, this has happened, you know, like this happened, that happened, this happened. But no, they're completely lived out. I mean, really. This has nothing to do with journalism. He shouldn't have never done it. Should have never done it. Okay, so so because of the app that I'm on, I don't know if anyone sent me any Facebook stars. I think Ann might have. And I know Ann sometimes she does. What if you did, thank you so much. If you didn't, thank you so much for being here. But for some reason, Facebook stars are not allowed to be seen through here. So, and I can't see the super chats when they come up, though. I can't see those if someone blessed me with a super chat. So, but anyways, I'm going to get off of here. Thank you so much, everyone, for hitting the thumbs up. Thank you so much for sharing this video even. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. It's going to be interesting what's going to happen in the next couple of days, especially next week. Today, what? Today's Saturday, about to be Sunday. Come Monday, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And how much longer these liberals, because they're trying to convince everyone to take off on Fridays. Don't go to work on Friday. Don't go from here on out until the United States government gives into the demands of the Democrats, right? They want them to give into their demands. They want them to dismantle ICE altogether, defund them. They keep saying defund ICE, defund ICE. Well, guess what happens? If they defund ICE, and then they're going to defund Border Patrol, what do you think is next? Who do you think is next? They'll go right back to the police department. First, it was the police department. Y'all remember? Defund the police. Defund the police. They were screaming it all the time. Defund the police. Now they're saying defund ICE. And I think they have, for the most part, say defund Border Patrol, but they haven't gotten to them not like they are about ICE right now. Because ICE, they are the good guys. They're upholding the law. And the Democrats can't stand it. It's just, look, just a quick analogy. It's like demons and angels. The angels, they're going to uphold the law. They have to uphold the law. The angels are going to uphold the law. The demons want to go against the law. The demons want to do away with the law. You understand? It's the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's ICE, Border Patrol, police departments, FBI, DOJ, CIA. It doesn't matter. The demons, they want to do away with the law. They're total lawless. It's lawlessness from the left. Lawlessness. Thank you so much, everybody. Hey, please, if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Share the video on Facebook. Please, I really appreciate it. Share the video. And like, follow, and subscribe. Like, follow, and subscribe. If y'all like anything that I'm sharing here, anything, my voice, my opinions, like, follow, and subscribe. God bless everybody. Good night.